The customer-focused strategy. The customer-focused strategy is hands down the most important step. Now, I have hesitated to say this in some cases over my career because I know every step in the process is important, right? We have to make sure that we do not skip over any step, no matter who the customer is and what route they try to take us, okay? But the customer-focused strategy, this step is the pivotal point in your sale. In this training video, I'm going to give you the two most important pieces to help you understand this step, what it means for you as a salesperson, and explain this in a way to help you see how you can do this in the most effective way possible. I want you to picture yourself back in high school again. We're going back a few years, right? I want you to think about the hardest subject that you took where you may have not had a great grade, or one that took you a lot of extra time to study just so you got a passing grade. Now, it didn't matter what class you were in, honestly. In every single one of them, there were tests that we had to take, right? Imagine this. Imagine if you knew right before you took any test in that class, the one that's the most difficult for you, if I told you that you could ask your teacher for the answers to the test, would you do that? And let's say, also, there's no max on the amount of questions that you could ask your teacher, and asking the questions was actually exactly what you were supposed to do. In order to get the answer from your teacher, the only requirement was you had to ask the question in the right way. How much easier would it be to pass the test if you were able to do that? How much time would you have saved studying before taking the test? Because now all you had to understand is how the test was going to be structured. You would save hours and weeks, if not months of time, because now, by simply asking the right questions in the right way, you got the information that gave you the answers, so you got perfect scores. Now here is where I hope it clicks for you so you can develop into an experienced business professional and gain a skill that you'll be able to use for the rest of your life in business. Imagine having the ability to know that each time that you interact with a new customer, you would have the ability to understand these situations work the same way as I just explained it in that last scenario. The example of asking your teacher as many questions as you wanted right before taking the test, or in real life, asking your customer the right questions about them and what was most important to their situation. This is how you get the information that you need in order to pass their test and earn their business. Your test in everyday life is selling vehicles to customers and creating a career for yourself that you will not only enjoy, but one that will also give you the stability that you need to live the happiest of lives. If you greet your customers properly and are prepared when they get to your lot, it will be much easier to transition and get your customer to sit down with you so you can do a successful customer-focused strategy. As I have told you in prior videos, a true goal for me, and it's not just something that I say to people, it is a significant part of what drives me. I want to be a part of as many people's success as I can because there were too many times that I needed that, okay? But I didn't have the answers. I had to search for it. There are so many people just like you and I when I first started that with the guidance and direction, the proper guidance and direction, our success would come much quicker. We should all strive to reach our full potential because if we don't, we are just wasting time. Everyone needs opportunities to do something great, but some miss what few opportunities they will get because they're not willing to commit to what it will take. The most unfortunate part for some of us, if we miss those opportunities, we may never get another opportunity like it again. So that's regret. Regret is the last thing I ever want you to have. And that is why I try to get on a deeper level, a more personal level with you. I don't want you to just sit here and try to remember the word tracks that I use. I want you to understand each situation so you know when you see it. You understand the feelings that are behind the situation and what created it. You understand what to look for, but also you're gonna learn what it is exactly that you need to say and how to say it depending on what situation that you're in. I reached a time in my career where I wanted to get every opportunity I could to lead people, but there was a point I had to take a step back and ask myself, how could I ever be qualified to lead people if I can't even lead myself to understand the value of following the steps to the sale? I had to start leading by example, which it took commitment to learn. It wasn't easy, okay? But I want you to listen. Listen to me when I say I am here to tell you right now. If you want more out of your career, you will lead by example and do everything right because you know that is what it takes to get opportunities in the first place. If you're the guy that people go to with questions or follow every single step correctly, your managers, I promise, they'll see it. They'll see it and they will start to call on you when they need a customer taken care of. Your business will start to grow quickly and you'll get away from this up and down roller coaster that a lot of salespeople, they unfortunately experience their entire career. The customer-focused strategy. This is where the money and successful people are made. The customer strategy is the time that you get to sit your customer down to get all the information that you need to streamline your sell, save time, and really start to increase the amount of times that you actually earn the customer's business. Your closing percentage, it's gotta go up, right? Right now, I want you to picture yourself sitting with the customer that you just perfectly transitioned off the lot to coming inside because you effectively explained how it was beneficial for them to come in and do so. You're sitting there at the desk, and even though they may not be physically holding a piece of paper with information that will tell you everything about them and what they want, metaphorically, you can still picture that piece of paper in their hands. They are holding all the answers that you need to know, so you can show them the exact vehicle that is going to get them excited. It has the information on it about who they are as a person, what were the motivating drivers behind their visit, and the reasons why they are sitting in front of you right now in the first place. Picture them holding that piece of paper with all the answers that will help you know how to show them a great experience. The answers that will tell you the exact topics that you need to bring up because it will make them, as your customer, feel great about you. When you do it correctly, you will start to see they like you so much. They don't want to beat up on you for a better deal. Their concern won't be wanting the lowest price. It will now be that they want to make sure you're getting paid enough because of what you did for them and how they feel about that. I couldn't be more serious when I tell you, the customer-focused strategy is the foundation to your entire sell and your entire career as a sales professional. We must understand the power of question so we can eliminate the competition altogether and be the best in the business, period. When you accomplish the full understanding as to why it is important to get the information from your customer by asking enough questions, the right questions, that is when you will see a noticeable difference in the results that you're able to produce. Okay, the first part to understanding the concept and goal behind the customer-focused strategy is knowing every single customer that we get in front of has the information that you need. You just have to ask the right questions to get it. Now, let's move to the second piece of the customer-focused strategy. We must understand how critical the completion of this step is before showing any vehicles to our customers. I want you to picture this. If I told you right now that if you committed to completing the customer-focused strategy 100% of the time, where we sit down with our customer and ask the questions we need in order to complete this step better than anybody else and any other salesperson, I would build you your dream home right now if you did that. If you did it, I would pay for everything because I know how much more successful that your career will be, and it's worth that investment if you follow through on it. That would probably get you excited, I'm guessing. Would it? Assuming you committed. Let's say we're moving forward on building that dream home, so you now have to pick out all the materials to complete it. We hired an engineer to design the house, and we finally got to the point where it was now time to build. We go out to the land where you choose to have that build on. When we get there, you can see all the heavy equipment operators are ready to start digging the foundation, and at this point, you're about to have the home that you have dreamed about for a very, very long time. Now pay attention. This is what I want you to grasp. As those heavy equipment operators go to start digging in the foundation, I want you to picture me stopping everything and saying, "We must start on the walls first." Everyone is now looking at me like I am absolutely crazy, and including yourself. When you skip the foundation to a home, you can try to build the walls, but if there's no foundation that you're attaching those walls to, how well do you think those walls will stand? And if they do, how long do you honestly think they will stand? How long will they last? When you skip the customer-focused strategy, you are skipping the foundation, and you're starting on a point of the house that makes no sense at all because it won't last. It is now going to take you so much longer to build that home because you will have to go back and do it again, the right way. Your dream home that you had in your fingertips just slipped away because of the decision to skip the most important step. Now think about all those people that looked at me crazy when I told them to start on the walls without even having the foundation. I want you to picture yourself instead of me. being that one that stopped everyone and gave the order that made 0 sense. When I say hold yourself accountable, you need to be the biggest critic of yourself because you're the one that has to either pay for the mistakes or be the one that gets to reap the rewards that you created. You would do it by yourself. You control that outcome, okay? I want to recap. Going back, to create a successful customer-focused strategy, you need to understand every customer that we get the opportunity to be in front of has all the information you need in order to pass the test. The test is your sell. The strategy to sit down is the foundation of your sell, and if you skip it, you'll have to go back and do it again. The only problem with that is that you typically get one shot with that customer, so we must do it right the first time. Don't start showing vehicles and trying to ask questions on the fly. Asking on the fly is starting your process on the wrong step. And as we now know, when building something, if we don't start correctly and get the foundation under it, eventually everything will fall down, costing us way more than if we just did it right the first time, okay? In the next video, I go over what questions to ask, but also what expectations that we're trying to set. Remember, sitting down with every customer is the way you will reach your full potential as a sales professional. Be great at the transition so you can build stronger foundations that every customer will want to be a part of. It will create the path where every customer will be willing to pay more just because they want to do business with you and no one else. Once you get to that point, buckle up, because that is when the real fun begins. Go get it.